Today on the Winning with Shopify podcast, 99% of visitors don't buy, and here's how we can change that. There is no such thing as a good conversion rate or a bad conversion rate. Oh, we're just like everybody else. And it's like, well, let's come up with something unique. I love feet and inches though. The fact that somebody measured their foot one day and went, that's a foot, and someone picked up a rock and went, that's a stone. Bizarre. Do you ever find that in your warehouse you have dead stock? You can't sell it, no one wants to buy it, and you can't get a refund on it. Or alternatively, you're missing inventory in your warehouse that you need. You've got sales coming in and you're low on stock and you haven't ordered more stock in time. All these things hit profit, and I've been there. I've run my own Shopify store and had exactly that problem. But we've partnered it up with Inventory Planner, who have the most incredible app to help you manage that and forecast exactly what products, what SKUs, even down to what color of product you need to order in advance to make sure stock levels remain consistent throughout. They're also running a 7-day boot camp. And if you want to go and sign up to that, it's 7 emails over 7 days. And it takes the same amount of time as your morning coffee. And in 7 days, like me, you can become an inventory management pro. Both links are in the description. Enjoy. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Winning with Shopify podcast. If you're not tuned in before, my name's Nick, been hosting the show for a few years now, and it is a pleasure to have you here. I do get some complaints about the speed of my voice, and I'm talking very fast today because I've had far too much coffee. Some people do listen to this podcast on times 1.25 as well. There are options on most podcasting platforms to listen to it slightly slower if I do talk too fast. Apologies, I get really excited about this stuff and I've been doing it for years. So try and get as much as I can across. So if you want anything slowed down, or actually some of the stuff I talk about is a little bit too complicated, then please just reach out. The other thing to flag as well is if I say weird things or strange things or I mumble my words slightly, we do all of these things in a single take as well. So it's a bit of prep before, but it's a single take. But it's great to have you guys listening in. It's just me today. So I thought I'll give you a little bit more of behind the scenes as to what is going on. One question I did get this week as well, before we talk about what you've probably seen in the title, is yes, these plants they're real fake plants. This is not a virtual background. I can touch here. I can make shadows on the wall. There's a shadow on the wall. So it's a real studio, which is quite fun. I've got lights up here in front of me and everything else. So anyway, that was it from the questions this week. Nothing about Shopify or marketing, but thanks for the questions anyway, guys. What we're going to talk about today, I've got a big old list on this notepad in front of me, which is made of cork, which is quite cool, from our lovely friends at Dot Digital. Irrelevant to today's podcast, but it's a really cool notepad, so thank you. First thing to flag before I start going through the things we're going to talk about to get more customers to convert on site. I'm just reading what title we've actually put in, and it's that. Quick thing to flag as well is we've got a thing called the Growth Hub. I'm very active in there. You can ask me questions all the time. As much as speaking to all the incredible members, I'm only like 1% of what is actually going on in that channel or across all the different channels. It's a bit of a forum, so you can talk to other brands. We run little events in there. We have special guests that join from time to time as well. So any questions, issues, challenges that you guys are dealing with, go on there and you can ask questions and talk to colleagues. I say colleagues, talk to other store owners or senior marketing people about what is going on. Super beneficial. And whenever I've got a big question ahead of a podcast episode as well, I quite often put a note in there, and the responses, I know you guys listen to the podcast as well, the responses you guys give me are absolutely incredible. So thank you so much. We've had a few of the members on the show as well. So if you want to get involved, see more about what's going on and grow your store through peer-to-peer support, that is the place to do it. And the best thing is we charge a lot of money for it. I'm joking, it's free. Come and get involved, and it's it'd be great to have you guys. As far as I'm aware, it's going to be free forever as well. If that does change one day, apologies, so I'll caveat that now, but we're not planning to ever change it. It's just a free place for you guys to hang out. Right, let's talk about conversion rates. So the title for today that I've got written on this funky cork notepad is 99% of visitors don't buy, and here's how we can change that. So what actually happened is one of my team said, this is something you should talk about, Nick, and you've got something to say about this. And I sort of got quite excited very quickly. Oh, there's loads I could say on this. So they said, right, that's the title. You go and answer it. So we're going to go through how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, and probably a few tangents that I haven't prepared that we'll go on as we go through as well. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a steer on how we do this with some of our clients and what we're seeing some brands do at the moment to try and convert. I know we've said the 99%, that's assuming you've got a 1% conversion rate. So if you've got a 3, 4, 5% conversion rate, then whatever the negative inversion of that is. The other thing to flag as well, and I know the first question you'll be asking is like, oh my gosh, my conversion rate's above 1%, I'm smashing it. And other people might go, well, mine's below 10%, I'm absolutely failing. Conversion rate is just one metric, and obviously it's offset against average order value and revenue and other statistics that go alongside it as well. There is no such thing, in my opinion, as a good conversion rate or a bad conversion rate. There is a conversion rate that is currently making you money, and there is a conversion rate that's not. But we've even seen conversion rates actually drop on sites, but revenue's gone up. So if we've stopped selling $30, $40 products and started selling $300, $400 products and only half as many, if you do the maths, we've made way more. So we've actually made a five-fold increase in revenue. Doing that. So conversion rate's not the most important thing, but for a catchy title, so you guys click on it and want to listen to it, we are going to talk about in overall the people that don't convert on your website, what you can do with them, and most importantly, ways you can actually get them to convert either there and then or later as well. Point number one, this is something we are doing so much with our clients at the moment. We've had various review platforms involved in the podcast over the years. We've had Trustpilot, Reviews.io, we've had Yotpo, and a whole range of others as well. Your review content is the quickest and fastest and most unique and verified way to have a conversation with your customers without even talking to them. So I do know some brands are a bit nervous going, I don't want to send a customer survey. What if they don't like me? What if it's negative? I personally say, well, let's find out. Let's find out that it's negative and that they don't like you, and we can change that. If you're ignoring it, we don't know. What tends to happen, though, is customers that do fill it out, and it tends to be quite a small percentage of them, but people that fill out a customer survey, they tend to give you some really good information. They tend to be your more diehard customers. Reviews, on the other hand, you tend to get a higher percentage of people leaving review content. It's a really good place to look. And I know we've spoken about this before. I'm going to give you an execution now of what you can do by doing the thing we say a lot, which is read all your customer reviews. What you should really look for, and something we found really effective recently, and I know several of our clients, I know you guys listen to podcast, and we're doing this on your site at the moment. We're about to do an A/B test on this for 3 different brands as well. So for those 3 brands, if we get a case study at the end of it, it's something quite compelling that we're going to put on our website, I will let you guys know that. It'll be on the spec website, but we'll show you guys like we did this, and here's the result. Those are currently going on at the time of recording this. So as soon as they're available, we will let you know. But when you read those customer reviews, what you really want to do is tally up the things they mention a lot. Some of the common themes I tend to find is quality of product, fast delivery, great customer service. It might be that this product was really well priced, great value, something like that. The ones that are quite funny, I find, is when someone just goes like 4-star, amazing product. And you're like, why not 5 stars? Why 4? You can't change what people are going to do. The world is giving them that freedom to do what they want on the review platform. What you want to do with that, and the test we're running, is quite often on a website, you have logo, you have a nav, and you have a USP bar, as I like to call it. And there's normally 3, sometimes 4 things up there. And the classic ones are fast UK delivery, 5-year warranty, a Trustpilot reviews, or a Judge Me reviews or something up there as well, saying what's going on. And then another one maybe saying like sale now on, or visit our stores or something. What you really want to drill down to is 2 things. One is, what are the most important things to put up there? And actually, if you only find 3 and you currently have 4 or 5 or something, 5 would be quite clunky even on desktop. Have a look at how they appear on mobile, but you might actually want to go, we're just going to have 1 thing up there now, or we're only going to have 2 or 3 things up there, because that's the thing customers are saying to us. You could run it as an A/B test to then see, by only having 1 or 2 or 3 things up there instead of 4 or 5, and by changing some of the things, which combination of things and how many things should we put in that bar? And on mobile, you might just have 1 and it will sort of swish every few seconds to the next one and swish again to the next one. You can find out the exact weighting of those. If you're sitting there going like, oh, ours are really, really boring, they might be boring to you, but your customers, if they only shop once with you, they've only been to you and visited you once. So actually, it's not boring. And I have had more than one brand say that to us, like, oh, we're just like everybody else. And it's like, well, let's come up with something unique. Or actually, if everyone says like so many companies in this industry are just, they're so abusive to their customers, they don't reply to stuff, and maybe abusive is the wrong word, but they don't reply to us, and they don't engage properly. I phone customer service and sat on hold for an hour and that kind of thing. If you challenge that, that is a USP. That's something that other people aren't doing. So I'd read your review content especially and make some changes to that. The next point, these are in no particular order, but to convert the people that don't convert on your website to get some more sales, have a look at Microsoft Clarity. It's a free tool. You can install it on your Shopify store or any other platform. It's completely platform agnostic. It's a piece of code. So you can put it on your Shopify store, leave it for a week or so, and then you can start watching videos of people clicking around your website. There's a few filters I would recommend putting on when you review this data. I would look at mobile and desktop independently. I would look at people that do convert and watch some of those videos and see some of the touch points and go, everyone that's converted has read our sizing guide. That is a really significant piece of content, a piece of information, for a piece of content that you should have either more prominent or create in the first place, or if it's tucked in the footer and people going to it and then coming back, That might start to explain why your conversion rates, in your opinion and your statistics, low and could be higher. And let's face it, no one's ever had a 100% conversion rate, even though I've seen in Google Ads a 200% conversion rate on an advert once where it had one click and somebody had actually made 2 separate orders through that. 200% conversion rate. How fantastic. But to get people to convert on your site, Microsoft Clarity is a fantastic tool then to see where they're dropping off, where they're dying, or their journey, not them dying, but their journey is starting to die and that kind of thing. So use Microsoft Clarity, use those filters to see videos of people that do convert versus videos that people don't. Look for trends, see what's happening. Have a look at things like rage clicks, where someone's just frantically clicking on something going, this should be clickable. If it is clickable and they're rage clicking, then in terms of converting people, you've obviously annoyed someone, which is why they're rage clicking. Either it is clickable and something's going wrong. Like maybe you've clicked it and the page it's loading is loading too slow because it's got a 2 gig video and it's downloading the whole thing in their browser. Disaster. I've seen that even in the last few weeks. I've seen that on somebody's website. Or the thing they're trying to click on is not clickable. So you want to change the design of that thing or make it clickable and make it do something when they do click on it. And I say do something. It doesn't have to be a link. It could create a pop-up. It could change something on the page. Blah, blah, blah. So I'd use Microsoft Clarity to have a look at that. We saw on a site, and he won't mind me saying this, our client, I won't say who it is. He won't mind me saying this. We realized the other day on his mobile menu, it had a white background, and the X to close it on mobile was also white. So again, very, very quick change. We changed the background color back to black and made all of the text on the mobile menu white. And then suddenly we saw actually the bounce around the site has changed slightly as well. So there's some really simple things like that you can probably find through Microsoft Clarity. And again, don't ever watch it and go, well, they're just an idiot. That is clickable. Take the approach of customers always right. They're trying to click on something, it's not clickable, or it is clickable and it's loading too slowly, or it's something else is going wrong in that. Change that thing. Customers are so lazy. We've had multiple clients in the last year that have bundled products together and offered no discount in the bundle. They've just gone, here's a single one, here's a pair one, and here's a 5-pack or something of this same thing. And by doing that, we're now selling more of the 2 and more of the 5 than we were getting multiple quantities of the one. It's just human psyche is a crazy thing. And there we go. We've made it easy. And their conversion rate, the conversion rate didn't actually change, but the revenue now, someone buying a pack of 2 at $100 instead of one single one at $50, fantastic. Great uplift. Our partners at Seguno have released a brand new app for Shopify, and it's called Shopify Connect for Canva. You can essentially look at all of your product images from Shopify directly in Canva and export them straight back. This can save you a lot of time. If you want to find out a bit more about this or go and find the app yourself, you can go to seguno.com/Canva. Enjoy. Next point, landing pages. So many brands stare at their homepage all day, every day and go, well, we already say who we are as a business and we welcome people in and we talk about our loyalty program, we share our products and that kind of thing. If you look at your landing pages, Shopify makes it really easy that on GA4 or even on Shopify itself, look at your analytics and filter the landing pages by landing pages that include /products/ so products, and do the same for collections and the same for pages. And then look at the homepage and see what percentage of people land on the homepage versus your collections versus products. I'm going to give a very bland stereotype of what that normally looks like, and it does vary business to business. You tend to find a lot of your PPC traffic is coming from Google Shopping. They all land on products because Google Shopping is product-led advertising. Your SEO, if done well, probably lands on collections because you've optimized for, like our lovely friend Andrew has optimized for bamboo socks. So he's appearing number 2 on Google for bamboo socks, and they land on his bamboo sock collection if he sells more than one product. Homepage if he just sells bamboo socks, but probably landing on the collection for SEO. Homepage, and this is the irony, homepage, everyone does a big welcome to our business, here's who we are, all the experiential stuff. The homepage is where all of your returning visitors arrive. Why? Because your returning visitors have you saved in their history. So they just start typing your name, pops up in the address bar, and they land direct into the homepage and then try and find the product they were looking at before, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of your email traffic will just click on your logo in the email that they've received and land on the homepage. So a lot of your returning traffic, one more example, brand search on Google. If you search up a brand and go, right, Nike hoodies or something, and I'm going to land, don't put hoodies, Nike. Nike is the example. So you type in Nike and Nike's homepage will come up and you land on Nike's homepage. You already know Nike, so you're probably a returning visitor coming back into the Nike website. So why then, and this is it's so ludicrous when I explain it like this, so hopefully it sounds like to you guys, why then does everybody put all of their here's who we are and welcome to our website and stuff on the homepage when people return, already knowing all that information. But when people land as a new user from SEO and collections, product in the product pages from Google Shopping, why then are we not welcoming people and telling them who we are on that first page that they land on the site? So I would address, what does your header look like on both mobile and on desktop? And how does that welcome people in? What does it tell them about us? Going back to those USPs, what does the logo look like? Do we have a tagline under the logo saying we do all things air conditioning? Which is a good example because it's boiling here in the UK today. But we do all things air conditioning. Great. I've never heard of these guys. I've just landed. This is an air conditioning superstore. So the customer expectation now is you're going to tell me what sort of air conditioning system I need. I'm expecting a BTU calculator, which is British thermal units, I think, which basically says if I've got a 3 meter by 3 meter by 2 meter room, then, and sorry for my American friends, we use meters here because every 100 or 1,000 it goes up. It's nice and simple. I love feet and inches, though. The fact that somebody measured their foot one day and went, that's a foot, and someone picked up a rock and went, that's a stone. Bizarre. But BTU calculator on the all things air conditioning website. So they might still be called I don't know, Stockholm could be the name of the brand. I don't know why I picked a city in Sweden, but there we go. We've just branded an air conditioning company. So Stockholm Air Conditioning, and underneath it says the home of all things air conditioning and heating, if they did heating as well. So you look in the header, then you've got all the product information. Look at the first image that they see. What does that tell you about your brand? What does that tell them about the user business? When they scroll down, obviously you're going to have specifications, delivery information, reviews, blah, 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 blah. Where are you going to feed in the who we are as a business? Who are you buying from? And how are you going to do that? You can do that with a review widget saying our customers love us, we're a safe pair of hands. You can do it by explaining like we have the best warranty on the market and push a USP. Loads of different options and loads to test. But so important to look at those landing pages and decide which landing page am I going to optimize for which audience, and what do we know about that audience who's coming in? Therefore, what does this page need to do and isn't currently doing? If you look at your collections and you just have a title and a list of products, that is the least welcoming thing ever. That means they've just walked into your warehouse, which is a terrible place for customers to be. They need to be in a shop. They need to be talking to somebody, which could be through your content, could be live chat, blah, 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 blah. Loads of options. But have a look at your landing pages and make some very good decisions about that, and use an A/B testing tool if that helps. Test product description lengths is my next one. We found, and I know we've got users all over the world, or listeners, sorry, all over the world who are tuning into our podcast. You guys in Germany are growing, so thank you for tuning in. I don't know any German, I'm afraid, but thank you so much for listening. You guys in Germany, and this is across 4 different brands we tested on, you like really long, detailed product descriptions. You guys like the information, like give me all the stuff that's going on. Again, it's a bit of a stereotype, but we've seen that unanimously across 4 different brands. One's a small clothing retailer and all very cheap. One's to do with automotive. One's to do with, I don't know how to describe them. They do all sorts of things like crowd control barriers, and it is one of the biggest products. They sell massive amounts of road signs all across Europe and stuff. It's a big industrial company, B2B buyers, and often councils, governments and things work with them, or big event organizers. So work with them as well. And then also work with a stationery company as well. So again, all 4 of them, very different types of product, very different average order values, very different journeys. More information in Germany. UK, we tend to be kind of in the middle. We like a bit more information, but not as much. US, I mean, you guys, excuse the analogy, you shoot from the hip. In the US, if you're just like 3 reasons to buy this product, 30-day money back guarantee, for every customer, people are buying it. And I think I'm using 3 stereotypes there, so apologies. I don't mean to offend anybody, but have a look at your user base and do some tests to work out how much information do they want and how do they want the information laid out for each product to get the best conversion rate. Really good way to convert the people that don't convert, because the point here really is they might not have got enough information to make a buying decision, or actually you might have overwhelmed them with too much information. They've gone, I just need to know if this bolt is going to fit this screw that I've got, this bolt is going to fit this nut that I've got, and I need to put into a certain place. I just need to know that, and this is too complicated. It mentions 4 different sizes in the description, so I've got no idea. This other site, it just says in the title, this is a 6mm screw. That's what I need. I need a 6mm screw, and you add to basket and you buy it. And here are some other options if you want different colors, different materials, different sizes, blah, blah, blah. Or different screw head tops, all that sort of stuff. See, I've learned a lot about a lot of brands over the years. Here's a challenge for all of you. The next 500 customers that buy from your website, phone all of them within an hour of purchasing. And ideally, the owner should reach out to them or someone super senior, because it's such a nice touch if you order a product and the owner calls you and says, "Hey, we're quite a big company. You've just ordered on our website. I hope you don't mind me phoning you. I would love to ask you about your buying experience on our website. And if you can share that with me, we're going to give you a free product or something in the next order. Is that okay?" Most people are like, "Yeah, fine. What do you want to know?" And ask them while it's fresh. What was good about our website? What was bad about our website? How many times have you been on our website before? Is it the first time you visited us? Have you been on there before? As much as I love GA4 and analytics and lots of other things and triple whale tools and whatever, nothing beats talking to somebody, because if your website traffic like analytics actually says most people visit the site 3 times before purchasing, and the person you talk to says, "Oh yeah, I've only been on the website once before," maybe you've got a branding, not problem, but you've got a branding opportunity to change. So it might be that your branding isn't sticky enough in people's minds and you can improve that. So if you phone the next 500 customers, you will learn stuff like that very, very quickly. You can log it in a spreadsheet. You could even tally up the answers saying, "Did you find our website easy to use? It was okay, really difficult, or actually I'd made place my order over the phone or some other way because the website was useless. Did you shop in multiple places before coming to us?" All this information is so important, and it should be making your decisions for you as to what you change on the site. And don't ignore the silent majority with that as well. So if one person says, "I don't like red," don't change your branding. If everyone else says, "I really like red," and or nobody mentions red at all, and one person does, do not change your branding to red. I've seen brands before say, "A customer's just suggested this, so we're going to change that." It's like, what are you doing? Ask someone else. Like, I don't want one person's personal preference. We've got to go with the majority here. So don't ignore the silent majority. Make your nav shoppable. This is the last point. We've been on plenty of tangents and time is a ticking. But making your nav shoppable. I see so many Shopify stores. A lot of you guys who reach out to me, I love you all to bits. Thank you for reaching out. Please email me if you want. hello@winningwithshopify.com or nick@winningwithshopify.com if you want to reach out to me directly. But yeah, make your nav shoppable. If you're like a lot of the people that have reached out, I look at your nav and it's got like shop drop down in the nav. So it just says shop with a little arrow to do a drop down. Then it's like about us, returns policy, contact. That, in my opinion, is a very low converting nav. I've been doing this for nearly 18 years. That is a bad navigation. I'm sorry. I know a few of my current clients do it, but I know we've also raised it with you guys to say your left to right nav on either mobile, desktop, or when you open the mobile menu, you want your actual collections coming up immediately. You want them visible across left to right on desktop, and you want those to be visible immediately. The shop drop down, we've literally seen revenue 25% lower in more than one situation when it's got that drop down, and we then test a new nav, which in Shopify it's a little bit clunky to set up the actual test because the nav is within Shopify and then goes into your store rather than but you could duplicate the theme, create a second nav and apply the second nav to the second theme is one way you could do it. But it can be clunky trying to test this. But I would recommend, instead of having a drop down going like, check out our men's, women's, accessories, jewelry as an example, having those 4 things across the top, or when you click on the hamburger menu, as I like to call it, on mobile, when you open that, just go men's, women's with an arrow under each going, there's a big mega menu underneath this and you can start crawling into the place that you want. So, clicking through to the place you want to go, just having that shop drop down, it just adds a step. And like I said earlier about the bundling and other things, customers are so lazy. On the same point as that shop drop down, we spoke to Anna, and I know you listen to the podcast, Anna. So hello. Had a lovely catch up with Anna earlier this week, one of our clients, and I think this is going out a few weeks after I record it, so it would have been a few weeks ago now, Anna. But we had a conversation with Anna about getting rid of the read more button on product descriptions and just having it open. We saw on Microsoft Clarity data that no one was clicking that read more button for lots of different brands. And actually, when we've just had that information expanded out, we've seen conversion rate has gone up as a result of not having the read more. This is not a one size fits all. It's not a blanket recommendation to any of you guys. Have a look at your data and have a look at how long they are at the moment, and have a think about this. If you've got more than 2 paragraphs next to each other, you need to change that. In my experience, again, it's not a one size fits all. But if you've got multiple paragraphs of information, two tend to be fine next to each other if there are only sort of 3-4 lines on mobile. Any more than that, you need to start thinking about breaking it down with some little subheadings, add some bullet lists, add some little, maybe even using emojis or symbols to do like 3 reasons to buy this product, and using a star as the bullet point. So having a star symbol, and it's part of the keyboard, so you're not inputting any extra images or anything, just using the star symbol. And then having bullet 1, another star, bullet 2, another star, bullet 3, or you could use 3 ticks for it. But breaking down that, we've seen conversion rate go up because the information now is much easier for customers to digest as well. So the shop drop down, the read more drop down, and generally have a look around your site at wherever you've got read more or expansions, or you might have 5 FAQs and you have to click on them to expand the answers. We've done tests of having no FAQs on the page, having the questions, but the answers you have to click to expand what's called the accordion to show the answer. And we've also tried having the question and answer all visible and a few different designs. And it's a complete mixed bag on different brands, different websites as to which one works best, but it gives you something else to test. Amazing. That's it from me today, apart from one very, very special offer. We are launching free auditing of people's sites. What this involves is, and we're probably only going to do this for a short space of time, so if you want to get involved in this, I am personally going to review your website if you want me to. If I get inundated, I will queue you guys up. That happened last time I did something like this. It was slightly different. But what we're going to do, the terms and conditions are, send your site in and say, Nick, I'd love you to audit my site. I've got about 6 waiting to go at the moment, so hopefully I'll get through those before this episode goes out. I'm going to do a short video screen sharing your site and explain what I would change, why I would change it, or what I would test, what information I would go and look at. We did some of these on a live Judge Me webinar with hundreds of people tuning in recently live, and that was great fun. And we ran out of time. But that's where the idea came from. Send your site in. I'm going to review it. And with your permission, if you're happy to, I would also love to post it on our YouTube channel. So other brands that haven't had their sites reviewed, or even if you have, you can watch other site reviews where we've gone through the site and said, right, we would test changing this, trying this, trying this, trying this. We're happy to do it for free. We're probably going to cap it at no more than 50 people, and that might take me 6 months to do. At the time this has gone out, my gorgeous little baby will have been born as well, so I'm going to be incredibly tired. So you might hear me kind of dragging on future podcast episodes for the next few months while I'm getting used to that. But we'd love to review some of your sites. We'd also just love to see your site. So if you want to reach out and just say, hey, but listen to the podcast for this long, here's my website, then please do. If you're subscribed to our newsletter as well, you probably saw we sent out a questionnaire recently. The people that responded to that, thank you so much. It's actually been a game changer for us in terms of what we can do with our content that we're posting on the podcast as well. So as I always say, this podcast is your podcast, guys. We make it for you. So tell us what you want to hear more about. Tell us how long you've been listening. Tell us what your business is, and we can help tailor things to help you guys. I hope you've enjoyed today. I've been Nick. You've been an audience, and you've been amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do you ever find that in your warehouse you have dead stock? You can't sell it, no one wants to buy it, and you can't get a refund on it. Or alternatively, you're missing inventory in your warehouse that you need. You've got sales coming in and you're low on stock and you haven't ordered more stock in time. All these things hit profit, and I've been there. I've run my own Shopify store and had exactly that problem. But we've partnered it up with Inventory Planner, who have the most incredible app to help you manage that and forecast exactly what products, what SKUs, even down to what color of product you need to order in advance to make sure stock levels remain consistent throughout. They're also running a 7-day boot camp. And if you want to go and sign up to that, it's 7 emails over 7 days. And it takes the same amount of time as your morning coffee. And in 7 days, like me, you can become an inventory management pro. Both links are in the description. Enjoy.